Welcome to the channel. Here, we don't just tell stories, we take them apart, piece by piece. Welcome to a new space where every silence becomes suspicious, every detail matters, and real crimes are no longer sugar-coated. If you're passionate about unsolved investigations, truths people would rather hide, and cases that make people uncomfortable, then you're in the right place. Subscribe now, because here, we're not after sensationalism. We're after the truth, even when it hurts. And today, we're starting off strong. What if Madeleine McCann was never abducted? What if Europe's biggest media case was built on a carefully orchestrated lie? What you're about to hear isn't a theory. These are facts, omissions, silences, and questions that no one dares to ask. So buckle up. Because what we're about to reveal here, you've never heard it told this way before. Apartment 5A, located in the Algarve Resort Complex, is at the heart of this mysterious case. This is where everything changed, in a place that, at first glance, seemed perfectly ordinary, almost insignificant. But what makes this apartment especially intriguing is its immediate proximity to an almost forgotten area, a vacant lot overgrown with thick bushes, an unlit zone at the back of the building. Picture this setting. A garden stretching beyond the apartment's terrace, with tall grass, hidden rocks, and above all, a complete absence of light at night. This space is like a secret kept in the shadows, a spot where no one looks, where the curious eyes of neighbors or tourists can't reach. It's precisely this feature that makes this place ideal for hiding something or someone. Behind this peaceful facade, a crucial detail is problematic. The apartment's back door wasn't locked that night. A door that could have been crossed without drawing attention, without a sound, and most importantly, without any witnesses. This passage then becomes an invisible exit, a secret path to that isolated and dark area. What stands out is that this area was never properly searched during the crucial first hours of the investigation. Despite being accessible, this vacant lot was ignored, almost forgotten. Why? The investigators' attention was focused elsewhere, looking for a more dramatic abduction scenario, a getaway to the sea, a trail on the roads or at the borders. But what makes this oversight even more troubling is the testimony of the canine experts. Dogs specialized in detecting cadavers and blood signaled suspicious odors precisely in this area as well as in the apartment. An alert that the authorities did not take seriously enough. The land behind the apartment, with its natural hiding spots, bushes, ground depressions, and rocks, could have been used to temporarily hide a body, maybe for several hours. One can then imagine the scene, in panic and anxiety, someone trying to conceal a terrible secret, using this invisible exit to buy time. Precious time to clean up, to erase traces, to come up with a lie. This unexplained hour in the timeline of the evening's events, between 9:05 p.m., when Gerry McCann checked that everything seemed normal, and 10 p.m., when Kate McCann discovered the disappearance, is a shadowy area. An hour during which no one saw Gerry, nor any other adult. An hour that could correspond to this discreet movement, to this exit through the back door toward the hidden land. This invisible exit is therefore not just a simple architectural detail. It has become a powerful symbol. The symbol of a flaw in the investigation, of a space swallowed up by time. A place that could have revealed the truth, but which, for lack of being explored quickly, remained silent. To understand the importance of this invisible exit is to realize that sometimes, the answers aren't far away, in exotic or complicated places, but simply just behind the door where the light doesn't reach. One of the most troubling mysteries of this case remains that infamous hour, between 9:05 p.m. and 10 p.m., an hour that seems to have vanished, swallowed up by the mystery. It was during this time frame that things could have changed, that the truth could have slipped away, and yet, no one really knows what happened. At 9:05 p.m., Gerry McCann is seen checking the apartment. Everything seems calm, nothing hints at the tragedy to come. Then, at 10 p.m., Kate McCann realizes that their daughter, Madeleine, has disappeared. But between those two moments, what happened? Where was Gerry? What was Kate doing? And above all, where was Madeleine? This lost hour is like a black hole in the timeline, a void that the investigation struggles to fill. The cell phones have no usable records. The testimonies are confused or contradictory. There are no direct witnesses, no clear signs that could reconstruct that moment. But this void raises many questions. Why is there a total lack of evidence? Why the silence? Is it simply a moment of inattention, or does it hide something darker? Beyond the mystery, this hour highlights a major flaw in the management of the scene, the loss of control over time and place. During those 55 minutes, control slipped away not only from the investigators, but also from the main players. This period may correspond to the moment when a failed decision was made, an irreversible act committed. The analysis of phone calls only adds to this confusion. The records reveal blind spots, unexplained gaps, especially on Gerry McCann's phone, where some communications are not recorded or appear to have been erased. This digital silence reinforces the feeling of a suspended moment, where reality became fragmented. This lost hour can also be interpreted psychologically. In a moment of extreme crisis, time can seem distorted, confusing. But in an investigation, every minute counts, every action is crucial. This temporal disappearance prevents us from understanding what happened next and leaves room for every possible theory. Maybe during that hour, Madeleine was moved, or an accident happened, or perhaps an attempt to cover things up began. Whatever the case, this missing time becomes a space of doubt, uncertainty, and above all, a critical point in the search for the truth. It's impossible to understand what happened without solving this mystery of time. This lost hour is the very heart of the investigation, where the truth must come to light, even if it means revealing difficult secrets, hidden truths. At the center of this case, one object seems almost insignificant, but it has become one of the most troubling elements: Gerry McCann's blue tennis bag. This bag, clearly visible before Madeleine's disappearance, mysteriously vanished and was never found. This bag was not just a simple accessory. Gerry often carried it. It held several personal items and, most importantly, it was large enough to hide something significant. Imagine a bag big enough to hold a child. It's this very thought that sends chills down your spine. The strangest thing is that this bag was never listed in the police inventories. No official record, no targeted search. It vanished, as if it had been deliberately erased from the scene. Why did such an important item disappear without explanation? Investigators noticed its absence very early on, but the answers remained vague. Witnesses confirmed having seen Gerry with this bag, especially shortly before Madeleine's disappearance. Yet, once the alarm was raised, this bag never resurfaced. Not in the apartment, not in the car, not anywhere nearby. This disappearance raises a whole host of questions. Was it used to transport something or someone? Was it used to hide a truth that no one wanted to see? Or simply, did it get lost in the panic and confusion of the night? Some criminal investigation experts insist on the importance of personal belongings in an investigation. Every disappearance of objects creates a gap in the timeline and in the collection of evidence. In this case, the blue bag became an essential missing piece. Beyond its material aspect, this bag also symbolizes a shadowy area in the entire investigation. Its disappearance is no accident. It's a sign that something has been concealed. Whether it's evidence, a clue, or a responsibility, this blue bag remains a silent and absent witness. Despite all efforts, no clear explanation has ever been given. This disappearance helps to fuel doubt, feed theories, and undermine trust in the official version. Just a simple bag, but a riddle that continues to haunt this case. In short, the missing blue bag is not just a lost object. It's a closed door, an extra mystery in an already complicated investigation. And as long as we don't know what happened to it, the truth will remain incomplete and the veil over that fateful night only partially lifted. In this mysterious case, an unexpected element became a silent witness, a car that, without saying a word, seemed to tell a story heavy with secrets, the Renault Scenic rented by the McCann family, 24 days after Madeleine's disappearance. This car was not just the means of transportation. It quickly became a central object in the investigation, especially after the involvement of dogs specialized in detecting cadaver scent and blood. These dogs, trained to pick up scents that humans cannot detect, gave a very precise alert to the presence of substances related to a human body inside the trunk of this car. That's not all. Scientific analyses revealed the presence of DNA partially matching that of Madeleine. Although this match is not sufficient for absolute legal proof, it is still troubling enough to raise suspicions. How can it be explained that the little girl's DNA was found in a car rented almost a month after her disappearance? Experts have considered several hypotheses. One of the most credible is that the car was used to discreetly move something or someone. This vehicle could have been the last place where Madeleine left a trace before disappearing for good. But the car didn't just carry evidence. It also shed light on a gray area in the behavior of the adults involved. How is it that this car, rented so long after the incident, is suddenly linked to such significant evidence? Why have the McCann family never really explained the use of this car at that particular time? And then, there's this digital silence that hangs over that period. Gerry McCann's phone, which is usually active, went silent between 9 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. on the night of the disappearance. No messages, no calls, no GPS location. A void that strangely coincides with the period when the car could have been used. This car, silent and motionless, has become a paradoxical symbol. It is both evidence and a mystery. It speaks without words, leaves clues without telling the whole story. It raises questions that official answers cannot fully put to rest. Through it, the entire complexity of this investigation is revealed: partial evidence, shadowy areas, things left unsaid. A car that could have carried the truth, but which, today, has only yielded fragments, clues that still need to be pieced together. In the end, this Renault Scenic is much more than just a vehicle. It is a rolling enigma, a silent witness to a night whose ending we are still searching for. As long as its secrets remain hidden, it will keep speaking without ever truly being heard. In this complex investigation, it's not just what has been said that matters, but above all, what hasn't been said. A heavy, oppressive silence that seems to fill the empty spaces left by the missing evidence. This silence may well be the most unsettling piece of the puzzle. From the very first moments after Madeleine's disappearance, this silence took hold. Silence in response to essential questions, silence about certain actions, silence regarding facts that are nonetheless crucial. Kate McCann, in particular, refused to answer several simple and direct questions asked by the Portuguese police. No justification, no explanation, just an absence that speaks volumes. This silence is not insignificant. It raises suspicions, creating a wall between the truth and those who seek it. Every ignored question, every detail brushed aside, becomes an added weight on the scales of justice. But why the silence? Is it fear? Shame? The desire to protect something or someone? Maybe it's the fear that the truth is too hard to face, too devastating to be spoken. This silence, far from soothing, only fuels worry and mistrust. It gives rise to theories, to hypotheses, to speculations that, over time, sometimes take up more space than the facts themselves. Beyond the unspoken words, this silence is also a defense mechanism. Protecting the family, protecting one's reputation, avoiding scandal. But at what cost? At the cost of truth being sacrificed, of justice being delayed. We must also understand that this silence, if it serves as a defense, is also a prison. Every day the truth remains locked behind this wall, a bit of trust crumbles, a bit of justice slips further away. This silence weighs heavily. It affects not only the investigation, but society as a whole. It calls into question the ability of institutions to do their job, to protect the most vulnerable. Ultimately, this silence is a silent scream. A call to break the secrecy, to open the doors to the truth. Because in an investigation like this, silence is not an option. It is an obstacle. The weight of the silence may be stronger than all the words spoken. And as long as it lasts, the truth will remain half-hidden, preventing justice from fully prevailing. After exploring all these mysteries, all these shadowy areas, one thing becomes clear: the story of Madeleine McCann is not just that of a tragic disappearance, but of a truth buried under the weight of silence, choices, and unspoken words. This case reminds us how crucial it is to never give up in the face of injustice, even when the answers seem out of reach. Every detail, every question, every clue matters, because that's how the truth can finally come to light. But beyond this particular investigation, this tragedy offers us a universal lesson. The truth is priceless and deserves to be protected, even when it is unsettling. Because when the truth is silenced, trust is what breaks. Trust in institutions, in justice, and in those who are supposed to protect us. That's why we must keep asking the tough questions, keep searching for answers, and above all, never accept silence as an end in itself. The truth must be brought to light, even if it means exposing uncomfortable realities. If this video moved you, made you think, or if you want more people to understand the importance of this story, don't hesitate to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Together, we can keep Madeleine's memory alive and show that justice, even in the face of silence, deserves to be defended. Because in the end, the truth never really disappears. It simply waits for someone to give it a voice. And it's that voice we must be ready to hear.